One of the side effects of modern technology is it's telling us how little we know. We get this wonderful technology nowadays, our mobile phones and our netbooks and so on. We don't know how it works. In the past, if you wanted to know how something worked, you took it apart. This is what little boys were good at. They were interested in taking things apart, and they'd find out how things worked that way. But if you took apart your mobile phone, what are you going to find? It's not going to give you any indication of how it works. Just that if you take it apart, it's going to stop working. So with science, with technology, our sense of ignorance is being reinforced. There's a lot of clever people out there who know how things work, and they're making these things. Actually, that's not quite true. I doubt that there's anybody out there that understands how a mobile phone works. They might understand the general principles and all the rest of it, but things like the mobile phones, even the telephone network, are vastly complicated. I don't think people do understand them. Some people have some working knowledge of them, but we don't even understand what electricity is. We know how to make it, we know how to use it, but do we really know what it is? A flow of electrons. Electricity is a flow of electrons, but what's an electron? So all the time, what we're being told is that the world out there is getting more and more complicated, which leaves us more and more in the dark. We don't understand it. So on the one hand, we are empowered by technology, but on the other hand, we're reduced on an existential level by it. We're made to feel less. We're diminished by it. You can ignore the fact that you're diminished by it and just get on with the sense of empowerment that technology can bring. But spiritually, we need to look at this tendency to feel diminished by the external world, by the notions of the external world. And in the previous paragraphs, we are told that there's no such thing as non-knowledge. In other words, there is actually nothing that is unknown. Our ordinary understanding of knowledge is knowledge of concepts. But spiritually, we're going beyond concepts. We're going beyond concepts that we know and concepts that we don't know. We're coming back to our existential presence, our sense of our own being. And we're not letting these concepts of knowing or not knowing detract us from that sense of being. This is self-knowledge. This is the result of self-inquiry into looking at which notions we're caught up in, dissociating from these notions. This is dispassion. Coming back to a sense of our own awareness, our own being, our own consciousness, and appreciating that. Because it's been diminished. We've got a sense of it having been diminished. So we have to start appreciating it again. Appreciating that this consciousness is pure knowing. And in this moment, there's everything to be known. There is nothing that cannot be known in this moment. This is omniscience. This is self-knowledge. The fact of self-knowledge exists even when the term self-knowledge has been discarded. self-knowledge alone is, not as an idea, but as direct knowing, which is what's happening right now. You don't have to achieve direct knowing. Reality is perceived directly. You just got to get over your ideas about it. Your ideas that there's things to be learnt, things to know. Get over all that. Jump over it. Come back to your direct knowing, which is what is happening moment to moment. It's happening right now. It's that self-knowledge which alone is. There is only the knowing. Let me illustrate it. There is a mighty rock which is vast, and whose sides are the blue sky. So here we've got this story of the rock again. We've had it on a couple of occasions, and I didn't quite connect with it on these occasions, but now I see what it's about. This knowing isn't something we have to tentatively accept. This knowing is the massive rock. It's the rock of true understanding. It's a mighty rock, it's vast, and whose sides are the blue sky. So we stop this feeling of little me, my little consciousness, my little awareness. What do I know? This knowing is vast, it's unshakable, it's the rock, it's the universe. It's vast and its sides are the blue sky. It has no joints because it has no divisions. It's like the dream. The dream isn't made up of different things. The dream is the one thing. This knowing is the one thing. The experiencing is the one thing. There are no divisions. It is absolutely solid and undivided. It is imperishable. It is incomparable and unique. We've got ideas that it might be perishable. We've got ideas of other, but again, these are all notions. We come back to the unshakable rock of our own awareness. Its origin is unknown. It's not got any origin, so we can dismiss the idea of an origin. Its content is non-material but solid. Within it are countless impressions or images known to itself as the jiva. This is me or I. It is sentient and insentient. It's a question of how you want to look at it. Whether you want to apply these words, whether you want to apply the words non-material, solid, sentient, insentient. It's like a dream. We experience solidity in a dream. But we would say that the dream is not solid. But we can certainly experience pain and all the rest of it in a dream. No one is able to break it. However, in it are these impressions known as gods, demons and humans, with forms and without forms. Well, this is essentially all our ideas about the world. In this context, in this cultural context, there are gods, demons and humans with forms and without forms. I think we can bring that up to date by saying there are those that believe, there are those that don't, there are those that believe in the external world, and those that believe in the imagination. I have seen these impressions that exist within the rock. If you wish, you can also see them. Rama asked, if that rock was indivisible, how could you see inside it? And we'll get the answer in the next video.